السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Welcome again to our series on the Prophet, and inshallah today we'll be starting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's favors upon the Prophet, and so we'll be looking at some of the texts related to it. So the first ayah we see is from Surah Isra. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet about praying tahajjud. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. And from part of the night, pray with it, that is recitation of the Quran, as additional worship for you. It is expected that your Lord will resurrect you to a praised station. And this is the Maqam Mahmud that we make dua for the Prophet after the Adhan as well. The next ayah is from the beginning of Surah Isra, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning how he took the Prophet on Isra wal Mi'raj. And so he says, سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير. Exalted is he who took his servant, that is Prophet by night from Al-Masjid al-Haram to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, whose surroundings we have blessed to show him of our signs. Indeed, he is the hearing, the seeing. And so this was one of the biggest favors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala conferred on the Prophet, where he took him on the night journey to Masjid al-Aqsa and then on the Mi'raj. And the interesting thing to note in this ayah is that this was in some ways like the pinnacle of favors upon the Prophet, where he went up to the heavens and met with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to the Prophet as an abd. And so we see how that title is such an honorific, and it is the pinnacle of what as a human being we can aspire to. So the highest level we can reach is to be an abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's the biggest purpose of ours that we can fulfill is the ubudiyah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the next ayah is from Surah Kawthar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar. Indeed, we have granted you, O Muhammad, al-Kawthar. And so if we look at the hadith related to this ayah, we see the first one, Anas radiallahu anhu, he said, it is a river in paradise. He said, the Prophet said, I saw a river in paradise whose banks had tents, banks had tents were made of pearl. I said, what is this, O Jibril? He said, this is Al-Kawthar, which Allah has granted you. And the second one, Ibn Abbas, he said, the word Al-Kawthar means the abundant good which Allah gave to him, the Prophet. And then we see that some people claim that it is a river in paradise. And so Sa'id replied, the river which is in paradise is one item of that good which Allah has bestowed upon the Prophet. And so Al-Kawthar refers to the river and all the abundant good that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the Prophet. And then the next ayah we see from Surah Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ وَرَحْمَتُهُ لَهَمَّتْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ أَن يُضِلُّوكَ وَمَا يُضِلُّونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَضُرُّونَكَ مِنْ شَيْءٍ وَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمُ وَكَانَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ عَظِيمًا. And if it were not for the favor of Allah upon you, O Muhammad, and His mercy, a group of them would have determined to mislead you. But they do not mislead except themselves, and they will not harm you at all. And Allah has revealed to you the book and wisdom, and has taught you that which you did not know, and ever has the favor of Allah upon you been great. And so we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling the Prophet how his fadl upon him is azim. And then similarly, we see in Surah Isra in the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِلَّا رَحْمَةً مِّن رَبِّكَ إِنَّ فَضْلَهُ كَانَ عَلَيْكَ كَبِيرًا. Except as a mercy from your Lord, indeed his favor upon you has ever been great. And then the next example from Surah Duha, we have a few ayahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى وَلَسَوْفَ يُؤْتِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. Your Lord has not taken leave of you, O Muhammad, nor has he detested you, and the hereafter is better for you than the first life. And your Lord is going to give you, and you will be satisfied. And then the next ayah from Surah Qalam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرَ مَمْنُونٍ. And indeed for you is a reward uninterrupted. And then we see from Surah Qasas, وما كنت ترجو أن يلقى إليك الكتاب إلا رحمة من ربك فلا تكونن ظهيرا للكافرين. And you are not expecting that the book would be conveyed to you, but it is a mercy from your Lord. So do not be an assistant to the disbelievers. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says towards the end of Surah Hijr, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ. And we have certainly given you, O Muhammad, 7 of the oft-repeated verses in the great Quran. And this Saba min al-Mathani is referring to Surah Fatiha. So we see in this hadith the Prophet saying, by the one in whose hand is my soul, the like of it has neither been revealed in the Torah, nor the Injil, nor the Zabur, nor in the Furqan. It is the 7 oft repeated and the magnificent Quran which I was given. And so the Prophet is telling us the status of the Fatiha and how it is a great blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favored the Prophet with. And so, inshallah, next time we'll continue with some of the blessings of the Prophet. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.